but I just know that he didn't want his story to be continued after the story was finished, essentially.
Yes, is what he that is what he settled on. However, he does have about 4 pages of something, which is shit, and he also agreed it was shit. And it was
Why
like
did he do it?
It was like Aragorn's son, like finding some like Mordor flag or whatever, and it was like these people, some of the Black Numenorians were trying to resurrect Sauron again or some shit. I don't know. He was, oh, that's retarded.
That sounds kind of stupid.
Exactly what he said to himself.
Yeah, that sounds kind of dumb. Which is why I can see, just like before we get into this, because this is probably what I'm gonna take from this whole thing. Not everything needs to have a sequel. Some things can just be left alone. Like, not everything needs to have a sequel, dog. Like, Naruto didn't need to have a sequel. Star Wars did not need to have a sequel. Alien didn't need to have a sequel. The Dark Knight did not need to have a sequel. There's a whole lot of movies that did not have to have sequels, or even just stories, like, in general, because the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings movies are perfect movies. They don't need to be continued. So to have that there is
wait to see what the premise is.
Well, the question is this sequel being written based off of those 4 pages? How are you gonna get a movie out of 4 pages?
Oh, because it's all made up.
How you? Right. Well, kind of like how Lord of Rings Hunt for Andy Serkis will be made up too.
No. They're not using anything of those 4 pages.
Nothing.
You misunderstand me, my friend. Yes, I literally mean it's entirely made up.
But it's a sequel to The Lord of the Rings.
Well, we're gonna get into it.
You gotta be shitting me, bro.
It's retarded. This is Hollywood. Do you think that they're past this?
No.
Of shitting on something this sacred that is Lord of the Rings? No.
I mean, after the Rings of Power, no.
No, they are not.
To be fair, bro, nothing shocks me.
Yeah.
Anymore. To be fair. No, I said nothing shocks me now, bro. Like,
a white socket will shock you.
I mean, yeah, no. I could oh, why?
What the fuck is this?
Why?
Yeah. What is this
Why?
shit?
Your data, your choice.
Fuck you.
Your data, your choice.
Yo, fucking lick my balls, dude.
Your data, your choice. Burger King Footless.
I guess we have to relegate to the fucking trash pile that is IGN.
Why are we giving IGN the click, homie?
Shut up. Because I pity them.
Wait, you pay IGN?
I said pity.
Oh, you pity them. I thought you said pay them. Sorry.
I pity them.
I pity the fool.
Get out of here. No, we shouldn't.
I pity the fool.
Here's the video. So I might be able to actually play it. Now playing. Let's see if it works. You guys tell me if this looks like shit.
I can look at it.
Actually, I can.
So, you're finally
shit,
here.
It's in desert.
Well, hi everybody. I thought it was time to give you all a Hunt for Gollum update. The first of many that we'll do, little blogs along the way. And Andy Serkis has been busy designing the film. He's going to direct it and obviously play Gollum. We've got a lot of the old team back again, familiar faces and some new faces. But Andy's doing a terrific job. It's looking amazing. The script is coming together really well, and I think it's going to be a really good film. Really good film. But that is not the only Tolkien movie that we're developing. We've actually got another film that we'll be making after Hunt for Gollum. So I thought I should tell you a little bit about that. Actually, why don't I?
I'm gonna pause it right there for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
How did that sound first? Like, as long as it sounds okay, that's all that matters.
Well, on my end, it sounds fine.
I know it looked choppy. So it should sound good, but it looks choppy though, right?
Yeah, so on YouTube it looks choppy, but it sounds fine. So
that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
So is Peter Jackson working on this sequel too, or is he only working on Lord of the Rings Gollum?
No, he's working on the sequel as well.
Maybe there's a chance that it'll be good.
He looks real. Look at him. He looks real happy about this.
Yeah, he looks thrilled. They're holding it. Dude, wait. I have a theory. They're holding him.
There's literally a gun behind his head. Dude, there's like a gun right off screen. I'm not even kidding. Look at him. Like, they're like, you're gonna write us a new Lord of the Rings story, Peter.
They're holding this guy hostage, bro. I'm telling you.
He's like, but there shouldn't be a sequel. And they're like, there's going to be 7. And he's like, no!
7 sequels, dog. Oh, no.
Let him in, whoever it is.
Hello.
The Mexican Rollins here.
Damn, I caught y'all early.
Yo, so what did you think? So, did you hear any of this news so far? We haven't gotten into Colbert yet.
About the Colbert being part of this project?
Yeah, we haven't gotten into that yet. We're about to. Have you heard about it?
A lot, because I was just watching FNT. So I'm a bit informed.
Makes a lot of sense. You're caught. Yeah, you're caught up then. All right, cool.
Yep.
So we're about to get into this. The rest. The video will be choppy, but the sound should be good.
Get somebody else to explain it, because we've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello. Hi, Peter. Hey, Stephen. Hi. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. I like all your talking.
I'm sorry, dude. I hate him. I can't stay. He's such a fucking twat, dude.
Colbert?
Yeah, he's just so fucking pretentious.
Well, I was gonna wait until I was done eating, but I saw you guys were covering the Lord of the Rings stuff, so I jumped in.
Oh my god, dude, he's such a fucking twat. like Peter Jackson.
If you want more Lord of the Rings stuff, I have a few topics I could pull up after we're done with this, but
yeah.
For the record, I have never been a fan of Colbert. I'm actually happy that he got fired.
Vaccine.
Did y'all know he was Roman Catholic? Supposedly.
Was is.
He is supposedly. Never heard of that. Never heard of that.
Is. No, he is.
I think that's what someone said. I could be wrong, but
he's practicing. He's drinking.
Isn't he pro-abortion? Isn't that like a no?
Yeah,
well, Catholics.
Biden somehow Christian, and he's There's a lot of Catholics that are like, or Christians that are pro-abortion that are Democrats. It's a literal like polar opposite shit. So
they're not Roman Catholic then, and they have to be because I'm Roman Catholic. They have to be like secular then. There's no, or not secular, fucking Protestant. There's no way. You can't be Roman Catholic or like Orthodox Christian or anything like that and be the way that they are. That's just not possible. Like I just don't under it goes against the Bible. Like,
I don't know.
ways.
He might be saying that just because Tolkien was, but who knows? Or he was Catholic.
Tolkien was Roman Catholic, if I'm not mistaken. But the other thing here, I don't know which I'm not sure that a lot of people were talking about until you might know this, Rolando, if you were watching FNT, but I don't know if they brought this up. Guess who's writing this show?
Show or movie?
Or movie. Movie.
It's him and his son, right?
It's Stephen Colbert's son, and it's his first writing thing. So maybe his son.
Yeah, he doesn't have any credits.
Yeah, he's got 0 credits. Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt that his son may be a really big Lord of the Rings fan, but he's going to learn really quick that Hollywood's going to woke this the fuck up, and he's not going to have any choice in what he writes. It's just, I could give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to be like, no, Dad, fuck that shit, but then the other people will come in and be like, no, you're doing this. You're making Tom Bombadil and Goldberry Black. Just like another character we'll be talking about later. Anyway. Let's see.
By the way, oh wait, hold up. Crimson, is one of those other Tolkien stuff about Jack Posobiec?
Yep.
Oh, God. I don't know this.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Dude, just look at. Tell me there's not a gun off screen. Look at Peter Jackson. Like, I feel like there's literally somebody that's like, we're gonna keep having you write Lord of the Rings spinoffs. He's like, I don't want to. This is against Tolkien. And they're like, do it. His family's in the corner. They're like, Dad, please just keep writing them. He's like, but they're shit.
Dad, I don't want to die, Dad.
No,
Just
Dad.
write them.
And then eventually, it's like, let us die, Dad. These movies are shit. He's like, I know.
He's just sitting there like Shinji's dad, like write the movie. Write
We're
the
gonna have
movie,
him make these
Peter.
until he's 90, bro.
Write the movie, or I break his knees.
He's like, they want me to write 7 more Mortal Engines.
I mean, like, at some point, you have to run out of stuff to write. At some point. No matter how great of a writer you are.
No. Before we even get into this, before you guys see what this movie's going to be about, fucking Silmarillion, Baron and Luthien. But I don't want them to touch any of this shit. But like, it's fucking there for the taking. It's the same thing with Star Wars. There is like 2,000 fucking years before Star Wars that you can work with. But instead, you made your own one, and it was gay. Like. Literally. I'm not even kidding. Literally gay. Like, so, come on, dude. You have thousands of years of history that you can play with and make stories. You want to make your own stories? Lord of the Rings is a ripe world to do so in, specifically in the Second Age. When Middle Earth is prospering and there's still a fuck ton of random evil shit all over the place, and there's werewolves and vampires and dragons and mountain trolls and giants and fucking Balrogs and wizards are all over the place. All this shit, necromancers and there's a fuck ton of stories. Elves are all over the place. Men are all over the place. The dwarves are prospering. Hobbits are
now
just
to understand the timelines. The Lord of the Rings original books and movies take place in the Third Age, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So has anything from the Second Age ever been explored in terms of movies before?
The very beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring.
The Last Alliance, right?
Battle of the Last Alliance would be the end of the Second Age into the Third Age, yeah.
Okay, so then not saying that I would want like Colbert to write it, but like, why not do a Battle of the Last Alliance movie?
That's what everybody wants, but it would be a good show, and they can't do that because they want Rings of Power to lead up to that. They already fucked it.
Wait. Rings of Power is gonna lead up to the Last Alliance.
Yeah, even though right now in the storyline,
Very clearly, that's been one of the big complaints that people have had about it. It's like they're very clearly trying to build up the Last Alliance because they have Isildur.
They have Isildur, Elendil, Galadriel is gonna be there, even though she shouldn't be, because they show that one female elf, but that's not actually a female elf. That's Gil-galad in the Battle of the Last Alliance, but they wouldn't know that because they don't actually pay attention to the fucking movies or books. And Gil-galad has never gotten the light of day. Poor guy. Great character. But oh no, wait, not Gil-galad. Fucking yeah, because we do see Gil-galad in Rings of Power. It's fuck. He's the one that actually saves Frodo in the book.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but
he's gonna bother the fuck out of me if I don't look it up.
But yeah, I mean, the Battle of the Last Alliance, just like on its own, is a really cool concept for a movie.
Glorfindel.
There we go.
I knew it was a G.
Okay.
It's Glorfindel. But yeah. So that's basically what they're gonna do and what they wanted to do if they make it that far. I don't even know if they will make it that far though.
Well, wait. So a follow-up question, because I'm just trying to remember us covering this show in the past. Doesn't Amazon only have the rights to the First Age?
They have the rights to the appendices, from what I
have the rights to the
appendices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Parts of the appendices.
So then how can they do the Battle of the Last Alliance then? Is that in the...
Because it's in the appendices.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, okay.
So
wait, how do they... How do they only have rights to parts of the appendices? That's kind of
because weird. that's how copyright works.
So they can only do like
that's why Sony owns Spider-Man, but Marvel owns it's Spider-Man and Hulk, but Marvel owns all the villains of Spider-Man and Hulk for the most part.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
That's the reason. It's the same exact thing. They own parts and parts. But like Sony's never going to give up Spider-Man. If they ever do, they're stupid. I wouldn't.
Why should they?
They shouldn't. They've treated Spider-Man better than Disney has.
The only thing is, though, the part that I never understood about that is why they don't make their own Spider-Man. Because technically,
because they have a contract. No, they have a contract with Disney Marvel that they get 5 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, so they can't make another Spider-Man until then.
I know, but all I'm saying is they could pull the rug out from Disney anytime that they wanted to and just make their own Spider-Man.
I'm sure there's a bit of red tape somewhere that stops them from doing that, because otherwise they would.
Yeah, but the Venom movies suffered greatly from not having Spider-Man. So did
the Venom movies were terrible, and you know it. So there's really the Venom movies did not suffer. They didn't suffer just because they suffered because they were bad. That's just that simple, dude.
They're stupid fun, dog.
Andy Serkis is an amazing actor, but I am not looking forward to this Gollum movie.
Didn't they make Tom Hardy? His his character's Eddie Brock? Didn't they make him like basically have Tourette's or something? Like he was not well throughout that whole movie for some reason. The movies.
They basically made it that like the symbiote gave him
autism.
Basically made no. Kind of, sort of.
Made him
They
retarded.
basically-
He really did. He was a normal ass dude, and he gets his venom, and he's like, duh, duh.
Yeah, they basically make him crash out because he can't live with the heat. He can't live with the heat.
Could you imagine
can't-
if Tobey Maguire fucking got venom and he ended up in like special ed classes in school?
He got
No, better yet, Tobey Maguire gets venom and he just start walking down the streets like acting like he has the N-word pass, just like, what's up, Matt?
he got venom. He got venom and started doing
I'm gonna
this.
put some dirt in your eye.
That's way better. And he also
Edgy.
started up mad bitches too.
My man was
My favorite meme about that is Peter gets symbiote that turns him evil. Immediately starts greeting people with shalom.
Shalom. Oh my gosh.
bro.
Holy shit, bro. Okay,
Prison,
anyway,
come on, man.
let's watch Stephen Colbert make a twat of himself again.
I got Tobey Maguire in my orifices.
No.
Dude, actually, this is the worst possible person to write a Lord of the Rings anything. I just need to say that.
Criminally unfunny Colbert, yes.
Yeah. She'll
There we go.
die.
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Oh
Hey,
my
Stephen.
God.
Hi. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
Like,
Good.
like he didn't know.
Good. I like all your talking stuff on the wall there. That's that's
Oh, thanks. This is
hardcore.
just part of the collection.
Hold up.
So I was just explaining to the
How-
folks about the
That's
Yeah,
a fucking. That's like.
That's
Fuck
so
you, dude.
fucking
He literally
cringe.
put up. He put up
When-
Lord of the Rings shit all over his walls just for that. You fucking twat. He's
He's in his fucking suit.
no.
Here's the thing: is like it gets worse than that. Like, this is very clearly scripted, and it is the most cringe fucking script
No,
you
really.
could possibly
Peter
have
Jackson-
written for this.
And look at Peter.
It was done by Colbert.
He knows, like Peter knows this is bullshit, and like I will be honest, Colbert has cameoed in Desolation of Smog as one of the people that's watching Bard. He's the guy with the eye patch and smoking a pipe, like in Lake Town. Yes,
that's
that is.
him.
Yeah, that's him. However, like you can tell that Peter Jackson he knows this is such disingenuous bullshit. Whatever.
Well,
I
here's
can't-
my thing though. Like and like I like Peter Jackson and all, but like we have free will. I mean, is the bag really that big that like he would sign on to this? Like, that's kind of my thing. Like, how much are they paying him? I guess is my question.
Roman, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
If this he has to make 3 shitty Lord of the Rings spin-off movies, but he gets full control over an actual Halo trilogy. Would you do that? Would you take that trade?
I would. Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I don't care. I don't want to see any fucking shitty Lord of the Rings stuff.
Neither do I.
I just
but-
don't think he has. I don't think he has the talent anymore. What was the last good thing he made?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. That's the only good thing
yeah.
he made. Name something else that he made that was good.
King Kong.
I guess yeah.
The
What
first one was pretty good.
Oh yeah, King
that was
Kong was
fine.
pretty
It was a fine movie, but like I think it was what they were saying. Like he was just getting into CGI like heavily, like that's because that whole fucking movie of King Kong was a lot of CG.
I guess you could say
Sure.
the last like considerably good thing he made would have been The Hobbit. I guess you could say.
If you
Yes.
edit it down, yeah.
Desolation of Smog is a solid movie.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to cut the fat off of it. That's about it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. There's some
here's the
stupid
thing.
shit, but there's some good shit too.
The only genuine, the only Peter Jackson movie that I genuinely don't like is probably the is probably the Battle of the Five Armies, but I don't know how much of that is actually his fault. Like,
hey man, the Battle of the Five Armies did give us one scene that was sick as fuck, and that was the White Council versus the Nazgul, and like that happens in the books.
yes,
We got to see it. That's cool as shit.
Yes,
That was cool.
but the actual Battle of the Five Armies is actually dumb in the movie though. It's actually stupid.
Yeah, they didn't have the animals show up the way that they were supposed to, which is like they're supposed to be like wolves fighting wargs and bears and eagles, and not just the eagles. There's supposed to be a lot more animals.
Yeah, but the point is that
because what Radagast, he was like Radagast, summon our friends, bird and beast, and then Radagast shows up with a fucking werebear and an eagle. Like what he has two friends.
It's not really an army, bro. That's not really an army.
What the fuck are you talking about, cuz?
In the book, aren't there two orc armies?
There's two orc armies in the movie. There's two orc armies in the movie too.
Yeah, but the one right, but I'm saying the one in the movie never actually joins the battle. I don't think.
Yes, it does.
It does when?
The Gundabad orcs come from the north and they're up at Ravenhill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
They come from the north, and the Dokeldor orcs are coming from underground with the Earth Eaters, and then which are not in the book. And then there's the men, the elves, and the dwarves. That's the five armies. But
what about the eagles?
You could also consider the animals to be the fifth army, but technically they're supposed to be on the side of like the men and elves. But you could consider.
Great Program's right. I think Philippa Boynes is on this project too. I think.
Yes, that's what I was waiting to mention that, but yes, she is involved in this.
Yeah, she was the one who wrote War of the Rohirrim.
Yep. I was gonna wait till we got to that because he's gonna bring that up. So before we get into it, let's finish up this little fucking government plants Lord of the Rings.
Let's cringe through it.
If you don't think this isn't going to be full of propaganda, then you guys are not paying attention to who Stephen Colbert is.
The next Tolkien movie after Hunt for Gollum, and the fact that we've partnered up with you to develop the script. So,
yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Should I tell people what the story is?
As much as you want. Yep.
I will, as much as I can. You know what the books mean to me and what your films mean to me. But the thing I found myself reading over and over again were the 6 chapters early on in the Fellowship that y'all never developed into the first movie back in the day. It's basically.
I'm sorry, that sounds like such bullshit. Nobody ever goes back and rereads the first 6 chapters. That means you know why you did that? Because you kept falling off the book after that.
Wait. Pause.
I just kept reading. That's like saying I just kept starting One Piece, but like I never made it past the 6.
Yeah, so I started watching Naruto, but never made it past the tuning exams.
No, it's worse than that. I started watching Naruto, but never made it past the Land of Water.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You basically is that a self-report? I think that's a self-report where he's like, yeah, I love Tolkien. The chapters I've read the most are the first 6 chapters of the book.
I think he's just saying that that's a part. Yeah, that's a part that they didn't do, and that it stands out to him. So I really don't know why.
Yeah, but is that really what he's doing?
He's saying that's his favorite, and yes, that is a great part of the books. But I don't know anybody who would ever say that is something that I go back and reread. Like the Barrow Downs, really cool. Tom Bombadil, really cool. Both of those chapters, really slow. Like really slow. They're a slog to get through. But they're good, but they're a slog to get through. It's not like something you would go back in your leisure time to go back and reread that chapter. You know what I'm saying? It just
honestly
whatever. Maybe he does. Maybe he does do that. Maybe he likes to go to bed at night and read Tom Bombadil and Goldberry. But if these really are his favorite chapters, then they're going to be exactly. This movie's going to be exactly like these chapters.
I mean, here's the thing. From what I remember of reading from Fellowship, I don't blame Peter Jackson for skipping the first six chapters because
he doesn't, and that's the problem, Roman. Hold on. That's the problem. He doesn't skip the first 6 chapters. In fact, this is layered in between what we see from them falling off of, like, this would be from them hanging out, because we skipped them actually hanging out at Farmer Maggot's house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They actually end up hanging out with Farmer Maggot, like fly. They end up hanging out at his house for a couple nights, and he makes them mushrooms too. Because remember, they fall and they get the mushrooms. They don't actually fall in that way. They end up falling a different way, and then they end up on the road. All this other bullshit. And then he tells them about like he had told them about the Black Riders, and then they see the Black Riders, so they get off the road. And then they make it to Buckleberry Ferry eventually. But that is not until after they go to the Barrow Downs and meet Tom Bombadil, if I'm not mistaken. And then they get to Bree. So we just skipped.
So basically,
so this would have to be in the very middle of 30 minutes of the movie. So what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to watch the Fellowship of the Ring and then pause it like 45 minutes to an hour in, and then just watch another movie and then go back in to watch it again? Like, this is convoluted bullshit. Just if you're going to make a Lord of the Rings story, don't do this. It's stupid. And you haven't even gotten to the point where it's a sequel yet. And how it's a sequel.
How can a book
you'll see. Member berries,
How can a movie that is based off the first book, how can a movie that's based off the first book be a sequel? How's that possible?
Don't you think? And Great Pilgrim, we will get to all your chats in a second. Roman, don't you think that they didn't find a way to squeeze a girl boss into here too?
Basically, the chapter is 3 is company through fog on the Barrow Downs. And I thought, oh, wait, maybe that could be its own story that could fit into the larger story. Could we make something that was completely faithful to the books while also being completely faithful to the movies that you guys had already made? And I started talking it over with my son, Peter, who's also a screenwriter. And we worked out what we thought would work, especially as a framing device for that story. And it took me a few years to scrape my courage into a pile to give you a call. But about 2 years ago, I did. You liked it enough to talk to me about it. And ever since then, the two of us have been working with the brilliant Philippa Boyens on how to develop the story. And we recently took it to Richard Brenner at New Line and Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca at Warner Brothers. And I could not be happy.
Just want to say, and shout out to Gary from Nerdrotic, because I just watched his video on this the other day. Great video. Both of those people were about to lose their jobs last year if certain movies didn't come out.
Happier to say that they loved it. And so that's what we're going to be working on.
Fantastic. Now, are you sure you've got the time, though? Because,
that I did not think I would have the time. As much as I love it,
Oh, yeah? You don't have a job anymore, you fucking... Fuck you. Literally go fuck yourself.
Knew I couldn't do that and do the show at the same time, but it turns out I'm going to be free starting this summer.
Isn't that fortunate?
Isn't that a catastrophe right there?
Fired.
So if you'll excuse me.
Okay, so okay. He just used a word that Tolkien created and I actually knew this before watching that video from Gary because I fucking love Tolkien, if you couldn't tell. But eucatastrophe is a word that he coined, which basically means like something inexplicable happens in order to save a character at the end of like some crazy catastrophe type shit. Like the Eagles. Like the Eagles coming to get Frodo and Sam at the end would be a eucatastrophe.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like an amazing coincidence?
Exactly that. That's a better way of putting it. Yes, it's like an amazing coincidence. So he just said, "Isn't this a eucatastrophe?" Fuck you, dude. I don't even. You looked that up. Somebody told you that from your team. I don't believe.
I mean, dude, from what everybody said, he does have a deep knowledge of it, but that's not the problem about him knowing. It's the problem about whether he can separate his politics from the actual story itself.
He clearly can't.
Probably not.
We've seen him do everything that he does.
I've got to finish a television show and I've got to write a movie script, but I will see you all in the Shire.
Okay. Alrighty. Bye-bye. See you, Stephen.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Peter.
Bye-bye.
So
again, when's this movie coming out? Does anybody know?
It's not even made yet. They're just talking about it.
All right, so
I'm pretty sure it's just.
No. So it's supposed to be. So hold on, I'm just gonna stop sharing because fuck it. I already know what the story is, and you guys can look it up for yourselves. But if you don't believe me, but it's basically gonna be Sam, Frodo, or not Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin. And those three are going to be retracing their steps to Weathertop and Bree. Or Bree and Weathertop, whatever. Or some shit like that. And they're going to be remembering all this stuff. So it's basically going to be them just going back in time over and over again.
Why?
So Memberberry Road.
Memberberry the movie.
Why?
Because. Oh, also, Sam's daughter is going to discover a mysterious mystery or something like that. Like some mysterious mystery. Yeah, no. She's going to discover some mystery that she's going to be uncovering throughout the movie as to Sauron.
I think it was about her figuring out why the journey to destroy the ring would have ended before they started.
Yeah. So you have to have Eleanor Gamgee because you need to because she's mentioned as a character at some point.
So are they going to use this?
That's what the fans have been asking for.
Are they going to bring Sauron back?
Probably. They're gonna make Sauron is back. What do you mean? Rings of Power.
No,
but
I'm
this
talking
is
about
after.
I'm talking about in the sequel. Are they going
to? This is already blasphemous. That will be pure blasphemy if they do that shit, dude.
That would basically be the single dumbest decision that they could make. And to be honest, it's 50-50 as to whether someone with the name of Colbert would be smart enough to not make that decision.
Dude, if they actually bring if you want Sauron, just do something like Baron and Luthien. But here's the thing. They're gonna take the fact that Luthien is the only dark-haired elf, and they're gonna be like dark-haired, dark skin, bada bada bing, black elf. All that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just because she's supposed to be as pale as starlight. That's the whole point of who she but she has.
By the way,
that's the whole point of her character. That's what makes her so beautiful. Her skin glows, but her hair is pitch black. They're gonna fuck it all, dude. Just like Harry Potter, which we can get into in a minute.
So basically,
before that, I do have a couple other things that I do want to bring up as far as the Lord of the
the
Rings
other
stuff.
Tolkien things.
And then,
also, let's bring up these chats here real fast.
No, Pilgrim, what the fuck?
That is true. On all accounts.
Bro, Pilgrim's new fucking comment he made. I just saw it. The one before, I think the one before that about
by the way,
the chick you're talking about.
I see it.
Yeah, we can't put that up. I mean,
I remember listening. I did listen to the audiobook, and it was pretty cool, like hearing about the barrel whites and stuff.
That is sick. However, yeah, if this was animated yeah, exactly. If it was animated, fuck yeah, that'd be fine. Oh shit! I put the wrong one up. Crazy. That's crazy. That's an insane comment.
okay, so this is the first thing, and this video is
Charlie Kirk in the background.
No.
Yeah.
On the poster.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, poster.
So this is Jack Posobiec. And he has some interesting comments to make on Lord of the Rings.
Which one? Which one is him? Black shirt?
I think so.
I think so.
I
Okay.
believe so.
Oh yeah, I think it's whoever's saying the retarded stuff is the Jack.
It's one of these two. I don't know. I don't really follow Jack Posobiec, but he's angered the internet, including Gary and High King Feanor over his Lord of the Rings take.
Wait.
Narnia and Lord of the Rings were, kind of written almost not concurrently in a sense. And Tolkien always said that he didn't like Narnia because he thought that it was too overtly Christian. And I've heard people try to make the argument that Lord of the Rings is overtly Christian. And I hate to burst the bubble, guys, but you're just wrong. There's nothing overtly Christian about Lord of the Rings.
So that's Jack
in it. There's no faith in it. There's no Christ figure. There's none of these things. And honestly, Lord of the Rings, if it's anything, Lord of the Rings is overtly pagan.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? You're overtly retarded. What the fuck?
Yes.
There's no Christ figure. Somebody literally comes back from the dead. It's
not. I've actually been pointing this out, like with I believe the things that have been brought up in terms of actual biblical comparisons. You have the fall of Numenor. You have the children of Hurin that people have mentioned. You have Gandalf. Yeah. And he tries to make the argument that, you're bringing up outside sources when the outside source is the comments that Tolkien himself made about Lord of the Rings being an inherently Catholic work.
Yes.
Crimson. To be fair, this is
There is though. Wait, there is though. Wait, hold on. There actually is though.
To be fair, Crimson, I don't know what you were expecting. This is, Jack Posobiec. He's never said he's never really said a correct thing. So
here's an even better one. So, I know I've mentioned the guy. Do you know who John Delarose is?
Yes, I do.
Oh God.
Nothing is ever going to be denied.
He is saying you guys shouldn't be shitting on Jack Posobiec because he's such a good guy who's done so many great things for conservatism and for Christianity. I'm just like, he had an objectively dog shit take on entertainment. We can dogpile him.
Sure,
we do it to Razor Fist. Yes. We do it to Matt Walsh. We do it to anyone who has dog shit takes on entertainment.
Yes, good for him. He fucking is a good guy. That's great. I'll still tell him he's fucking wrong. You know what?
I remember.
No. Roman, here's the thing. Roman's a good guy. I'll still disagree with him on certain takes. I don't give a fuck. Like, what?
But wait, we're not done.
I think one more thing. I remember he also said in season 1 of Tulsa King, there was a moment where the black character wasn't allowed to buy a car because it was like all cash.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember he was trying to say, "Oh, they're trying to say like, why is this guy being racist?" Well, I mean, it wasn't about that. It was about Sylvester Stallone's character saying, "You shouldn't have been afraid of him. He's a good kid. You should have been afraid of me." And that's where he fucks up the car dealership.
I got you, Pilgrim. That was the whole point.
I was about to say, Pilgrim's going to want to be here because there's another article that I have to pull up that has to do with Lord of the Rings that we'll go over.
Can we finish whatever the fuck they're talking about? I want to hear their reaction.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm just saying that there's another piece of Lord of the Rings stuff that I do want to bring up after this. So
I got you.
Lord of the Rings it's interesting actually because people will. A weird thing about, did you know this about Lord of the Rings, that Lord of the Rings does not take place on like a different planet or anything? It takes place on Earth.
Yeah.
The claim, really? the conceit of Lord of the Rings is that it is literally just Earth 10,000 years ago.
Okay. No. Yeah, because Tolkien was creating a legend, a mythos for the English people.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit more than 10,000, but yes. When
what's it, like 100,000?
So at the end of the Second Age, if I'm not mistaken, Earth becomes no. At the end of the Third Age, no. Yeah. Earth becomes a ball at the end of the Second Age, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah, it starts as a flat Earth, and then by the time of the movies, it's actually like a full Earth.
Oh, so the flat earthers were actually right.
Well, Tolkien's the one that actually came up with like flat Earth as a thing.
Well, no, flat Earth was a thing up until the Greeks proved the Earth was round.
Well, yeah,
that would have happened in like 2000 BC.
No, you're correct. You're correct on that. But I mean, like, he's the one who kind of perpetuated flat Earth.
Can I say something really funny, real fast too? So there was this one flat Earth account on Twitter, and he basically was saying, yes, we have all of this evidence about the about the Earth.
Hold on really quick. Let me talk about this comment. Conceit, not conceited. There's actually that conceit as a term has a couple of meanings. He's not using it in the vain or arrogant definition of that word.
So, there was this one flat Earth dude who basically was like, we have all of this evidence that the Earth is flat, and we have people that work with our network all around the globe.
That's an old one.
There is a flat Earth network. That's a real thing.
No, but he said all around the globe, Roland.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I know. They're all retarded.
Yeah.
Bro, don't you know that the Earth is just surrounded entirely?
There's only one group of people worse than flat earthers, and it's the Tartaria conspiracists.
Like, if the Earth was flat, right? If you kept driving, eventually you would just go back to the same place. Right? Like,
I fucking love you, Pilgrim.
You would just eventually go back to your house, right? Am I wrong?
Wait, no, you fall off the edge.
Wait, what did you just say?
Roman.
What did you just say?
That is mind-bogglingly stupid what you just said. Because even if that were true,
what did he
even
just
if that were true, it would still happen on a globe. If you drove in a straight line across the globe, you would end up back where you were. Because that's how fucking circles and spheres work.
Yeah, you can't do that on an elliptical.
What?
On like on an elliptical object, you couldn't really do that. You wouldn't. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but like that's if you can walk on the underside of the flat Earth and come back up and go across.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about what the real? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. In that. Go ahead.
I mean, in that whole conversation, both of you kind of said some really dumb stuff, but we're gonna move on.
You said it, not me.
I'm going to play the rest of this clip here because this guy was talking about Tolkien.
It looks penis.
And there's a different map and all of that because the continents have shifted. But
it's supposed to be a mythology for Earth, the same way that Greek
Not
mythology and so forth.
So, like in Lord of the Rings, they don't really talk about it, but there is a god.
Pause it. It's supposed to be a mythology for Earth. No, it isn't. It's supposed to be a mythology.
Well, technically, yeah, England. But England is on Earth.
Because the Romans destroyed all the Saxons' shit. So, yeah.
Not the Saxons.
Anglo-Saxons.
The Celts and the Britons.
No, it's the Anglo-Saxons, the Britons, and the Celts. Yeah.
No, the Saxons came into England after the fall of the Roman Empire.
I guess you're correct. Yeah, so it would have been the Britons and the
Britons and the Celts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not Vosh. He has more testosterone than Vosh's like whole entire being.
He's got a man bun, so
look at his face. Look at the guy in the top right corner's face.
His friend.
Right now we have so top left we have wannabe
Grumpy.
Charlie Kirk.
He looks like a grumpy frog.
Bottom left we have Richard Spencer or something.
He's friends with fuck.
We have a dude who probably takes it from the rear when he's off camera.
He looks
like that's
bald.
mean.
And down here we have a man bun with a fucking "Don't tread on me" symbol.
Yeah, I don't know who. I only know.
Wait. Isn't that an oxymoron?
Huh?
The "Don't tread on me" symbol, but you look gay as fuck.
That's not an oxymoron.
I mean, he's got his long hair, so yeah, no.
It's a contradiction.
Not really. How would it be a contradiction?
Because he's trying to be funny.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know these other three people. I don't know these other three people. Well, yeah, only Jack Posobiec about his bad media takes.
Is he just standing in a lobby of a hotel?
I think
yes,
so.
I think so. He's probably at a convention.
Yeah. I think he's at a convention. So
you couldn't be bothered to go into like a room.
Well, he's probably doing on the scene reporting while they're doing this show.
I'm not giving him any bones here.
I'm going to be as truthful as I possibly can.
I'm still not giving him any bones here.
Like I can make fun of this retard without having to lie about him.
I didn't lie about him.
Or misconstrue the situation.
I'm just saying they have those rooms for a reason. Anyway, he's the type of guy that would be like, I need to be out in public to show myself. That's the type of thing. Anyway,
they were talking about the divine in Tolkien. So let's see what they had to say.
Really talk about it. There is a god, LOTR, who is just God. It is just our God.
Sauron is the devil.
Basically.
Oh,
and it's like they have different.
No, isn't the devil Morgoth?
Morgoth.
No. Yeah.
It's actually his name is renamed to Morgoth, and he is the devil. He's sealed right now.
So Sauron would just be like one of his like demon, like high powered demon companions, right?
Yeah, he'd be like Baphomet or like
Baphomet, yeah, one of the fallen angels.
Yeah.
Different names for it and all of that.
The orcs are demons.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Bruh.
Yo!
I haven't watched them so long.
The orcs are twisted elves. They're twisted life. They are twisted.
They're making analogies here. They're not necessarily saying that the orcs actually are demons. They're saying that they are quote unquote represent.
Well, yeah, but they wouldn't.
They're saying they occupy the same space. Not that I think that there's actually that kind of similarity, but
I mean, I guess you could say that because you could also say that therefore the Black Numenorians and the Easterlings are Satan worshipping humans.
I mean, technically, they were worshiping.
They are
Morgoth.
Yeah, they basically are. So
yeah.
But it felt overtly Christian to me, actually. The themes, but I mean, I'm sure. Listen, I haven't watched it for a long time. Maybe I'll reserve judgment.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said that your themes can be overtly Christian, while the actual content doesn't feel like it's not a allegory the way that Narnia is, but the themes are overtly
Light
Christian.
versus darkness,
Yes.
good versus evil.
Yes.
Yeah. Jackie, I felt like
Okay, what's he? Any bets on what he's going to argue here?
Okay, so
I already know.
He's
So I
correct.
can't say.
Tolkien hated allegories, so it's not overtly Christian, but.
Well, I think you're being a little bit unfair there. This guy's actually like pushing back against. So
Well,
he's saying that like the
agreeing with
underlying tone or themes of it. He didn't call Lord of the Rings an allegory. He said it's not an allegory.
I know that. I'm saying
What he's saying is that like the foundation of it is in Christian principle, and a lot of the things that are built up in Lord of the Rings are built upon Tolkien's own Catholic principles.
I'm agreeing with him. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you that, like, yeah, obviously because Tolkien disliked allegory. Like, I'm agreeing with him as well.
We'll watch for this next part.
Oh God.
Versus evil. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not a cool story, but it is also overtly pagan. Like the content is obviously pagan because you have like demons and you have a pantheon of powerful creatures and
a pantheon of powerful creatures.
For the fucking Bible?
He walks up to women and asks if they're pagans.
So the fucking
Are you
Bible.
a pagan? That's good pickup.
There's more. He's still talking.
Watch.
The Bible also has a pantheon of powerful creatures. What the fuck are you talking about?
But I think he's trying to say.
Stuff like,
hold on a second.
I don't know, Jormungandr or like.
Yeah, he's trying to talk about gods or something. It's because it's because he thinks Gandalf is a deity. That's why.
No, he's probably referring to Iluvatar's children.
I was gonna say the Maiar and
but the Maiar they're more akin to head angels, and they each have their own angels.
But that's the thing. Yeah, he doesn't know that. He's misconstruing those figures.
Yeah, they're
those
not
characters
actual
in it.
gods. Yes, can they control certain aspects? Absolutely, but they are told to do so by Iluvatar, and they are his children. They're his angels, and then they have their own angels under him. Very much like Michael the Archangel had angels under him.
Correct.
He was the general of the angels.
Correct. Technically, all of the rest of the archangels that we all meet are actually under him. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right about that.
I know.
Right. We're gonna hear more from Lobotomized Jack here.
Figures, which you it's to your point, like you just said, it's much more like Greek mythology or Norse mythology or Slavic folk mythology than it has to do with a Christian story.
You're fucking
so
retarded.
Basically, on the surface, it looks like Greek or Norse mythology to you because Tolkien was trying to create a mythology for England. And that's why you say that it is pagan, in spite of the fact that it's built largely on Christian principles.
So here's the fun thing.
Brilliant insight, Jack.
This is the exact argument we came up against.
Gotta get back
when we were talking about Chainsaw Man.
Lobotomized Jack.
This is good. That was good. By the way, fucking great. That is the exact argument we came up against with Chainsaw Man the other night on your channel, Crimson, which was you just didn't fucking watch it or read it. You just didn't.
We streamed on your channel. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's what I mean. On my channel. Sorry. But I'm all out of whack this week. So many streams. But again, the whole point is that's the thing we ran into multiple times, which is just like this person clearly didn't fucking watch or read it. Like you clearly, Jack, did not read it. If that's what you think, you didn't read it. You watched a YouTube video and got what you got out of it. You didn't read it. if you actually read the Song of Creation, it's biblically accurate as fuck. Like
feel like
there's tons of it's literally the world is in darkness for thousands of years until he allows them to have light.
I kind of feel like there's a chance he hasn't actually read the actual Bible either.
Maybe.
That is actually a possibility. That's a total
yeah. I heard like even like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he like does not like this guy at all because he sees him as
Jeremy
a guy that's he's just trying to grab on. He's just trying to grab onto a movement to make money, and I can understand that from how bad he fucking argues anything.
Well, yeah, Jeremy is the reason that I know this guy exists, because Jeremy will be like, Jap Pasovic makes everybody look retarded on our side of things. Kind of.
Probably.
Well, I like how Hassan makes the left look retarded.
Well, I mean,
they do that themselves most of the time too.
Well, yeah, but like all jokes aside, Roman's not fucking retarded like that. Like he can sit here.
Well, he is retarded. He's just not retarded like that.
Yeah, he can't sit here and have a conversation. Roman's not going to sit here and call you guys like Germans.
I mean, give me 30 minutes.
SS.
He's not going to not be friends with you because you guys disagree with him. You know what I mean? Like that's. Whereas, like, these are those type of people, and they make that entire group look stupid.
Rolando and I have had some pretty spirited talks, but, I mean, I still hang out with
them. Yeah. We've had people message us and go, are you guys still friends? And we're like, yeah, dude, I was on stream.
Bro, and back to that, where he's saying it's, like, Norse or whatever, freaking Narnia. Narnia has minotaurs, centaurs, satyrs, a bunch of other like
magic
Greek like creatures.
Yeah, like, here's the thing.
It's all Greek Orthodox, don't you know? That's all Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, but that one it's the more overt Christian story. So why isn't he criticizing that one?
No. Okay, so I'll make the argument. I actually think that Lord of the Rings is a lot more overtly Christian. The reason that people say that Narnia is because
it's in your face.
Aslan's a parallel of like Jesus.
That's your face.
Well, there are several parts of just the story of the Chronicles of Narnia that fit into like the Bible. Like the ending of the series is literally just Revelations. And the beginning of the series is effectively Genesis. Like if you've read, I believe it's The Magician's Nephew or whatever, the first book canonically.
Yes.
It is basically Genesis.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, what's the Critical Rings? Did you know that?
I don't even know what this means, but word.
It's a joke about how LeBron buys lots of books and poses reading them, but he only ever reads the first page.
He's reading.
He doesn't know how to read, though. He's uneducated.
Yeah, because what was it? He was reading a book by Malcolm X or somebody. Says yes. He was a very educated man. He's like, and some people were like, ask him what the book's about. In the comments, go ask him what the book's about because he doesn't read them.
Anyway, we've got about 15 more seconds here to finish this video out, or 25 more seconds here. So
this is the worst part of the argument.
I'm
all right, guys.
You know what I realized? The fact that Lord of the Rings appealed to Colbert is proof enough that it's probably.
Hold on.
Whoa.
That's exactly so here's what I asked, guys.
With this.
As
because
we discussed,
C.S. Lewis made more Christians. That Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, you get these guys, you get these libtards like Colbert who like love it. And if this thing is like, oh, it's overtly Christian, I'm like, well, then why does a guy like Colbert love it so much?
Well,
I'm gonna hit you. In Minecraft.
It's because the story is so good that even Colbert can love it.
Here's the reason they like Lord of the Rings is because Lord of the Rings is effectively the foundation for modern fantasy.
It's just the foundation of
it is Well, I say modern fantasy because fantasy existed before Lord of the Rings. But a lot of the tropes that we see now implemented in fantasy, especially throughout pop culture, you look at Skyrim, D&D, like manga and anime, all derive their interpretations of
Star Wars
elves
too.
and orcs from
Star Wars.
Tolkien's work. He's the one who created a lot of those tropes.
I mean, Star Wars, Game of Thrones. Both
Well,
of
I mean,
those-
yeah, Game of Thrones is basically a parallel, or like the
Yeah,
opposite end of it.
Lord of the Rings is a significantly greater story than the Chronicles of Narnia, just in the influence it has exerted over the entire genre and its staying power. Lord of the Rings is still talked about over
every day.
I don't know, 80, 90 years later.
Lord of the Rings has sold. I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings is the second most sold book in the world, next to the Bible. If I'm
I was
not
going to say
mistaken.
it sold more volumes than anything other than the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings is the most popular book of all time ever.
That is why leftists are fascinated with it, because it's culturally ubiquitous. And because a surface level nitwit like Jack Posobiec can interpret it as non-Christian.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing.
Oh, what's up, my dude? If you
What
want
the
the
heck?
Okay, so
Yo, Roman,
first,
do you know who this is?
That's Sean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the Bible. Oh my God, the Bible has sold 7 billion copies. The Lord of the Rings is estimated. It is the second highest selling book ever at around 350 million copies sold.
Fuck yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and I think that's why Tolkien wanted it to make it less overtly Christian. It still has the basis, but a lot of people can more digest it as just being an amazing story.
Well, that was the
and that's
point.
why
You didn't want to shove it down people's throats as everything does these days, which is why we see so many different franchises where people just don't give a fuck anymore.
yeah, he wanted more people to enjoy it.
Tolkien's main issue of allegory was the fact that it was so blunt and forward that is unnoticeable to avoid. Whereas Tolkien's writing is much more in depth, and his beliefs are woven throughout it much more skillfully than C.S. Lewis's.
Well, indeed, yeah.
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 I will say, as far as like their ability to write, Tolkien was probably the better writer, very easily the better writer.
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis had a little bit more variation. I actually really liked C.S. Lewis's science fiction stuff, Out of the Silent Planet, Perlandra,
The science trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
Roman, are you sure this wasn't in the past year?
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
I was gonna say that's way too low.
Regarding the claim that it's a pagan series, I've got in my hands a book.
Oh, dude, I hate this argument. All right. So
I was gonna wait for everyone to finish their points before you brought this up because Pilgrim's still talking.
I didn't bring it up. Yeah, Roman, bring it down. All right, Will.
My bad. I'm sorry.
All good. All right. So in my hands, I've got a book. This book is called The Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, I have that.
And if you go to letter 144, it is a letter written to... What? Sorry, 142. My bad. It is a letter written to Robert Murray, the grandson of... What?
What?
By the way, I just want to say really, really fast. The Lord of the Rings books have sold as of February 2026. They have sold 875 million copies. That was really only from the last year.
Yeah, 875 million in the last year.
Yeah.
No, he said 350 million was from the last year. 875 million was from just the total.
All time, correct.
Roman,
yeah. Yeah, so I basically addressed that earlier. So I was again by my friends taken out of context. They made it into a soundboard on the Discord. So I'm chilling in the hub last night talking with Emmy, and then Muff was like, "Come into the Discord. I got something to show you." And then he plays me the soundboard. So that is what I'm gonna use whenever I enter into the VC from now on. I was gonna
Damn it, Muffler.
so listen, whenever I enter into the VC, I usually use this.
I'm rubbing peanut butter on my cock.
But now I'm going to use the orifices line because I think that's just that one's just a lot. Because listen, y'all, I misspoke, okay? It happens to the best of us, all right? I was tired. I was running off fumes. And I didn't.
You quite literally said that Black Lagoon had been in your orifice for years.
No, can somebody
I meant orbit, bro. I meant orbit.
Wait. Can we pull up the actual clip? Is that possible?
I can find it. I know exactly where it's at. We slow-mode it and everything. You need to see everybody's reaction. It's hilarious.
Dude, the
if
reaction.
that's what you want, I'll do it. I'll
go ahead.
Please.
All right, 1 second.
I love how Crimson backs up, bro. No, I'm not, bro. I misspoke. Okay.
Anyway,
nah, she's
I
right.
think we've interrupted Pilgrim yet again. So, Pilgrim, what were you saying?
Pilgrim. Sorry, Pilgrim.
All good. Used to it at this point, as you should be too, Roman. Letter 142, written to Robert Murray, grandson of James Murray, who is the founder of the English Dictionary. He wrote to Tolkien after reading Lord of the Rings, finding comparison to the Order of Grace and compared the image of Galadriel to that of the Virgin Mary. Tolkien responded, and I won't read the entire letter because it's very lengthy.
It's long, yeah.
But the important part is the Lord of the Rings is, of course, a fundamentally religious and Catholic work. Unconsciously so at first, but consciously in the revision. So from Tolkien's own words, to the grandson of the founder of the Oxford English Dictionary, it is fundamentally a Catholic and religious work, not pagan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
but again, Jack has been on record in this whole conversation saying that he rejects that because it is a quote-unquote outside source, which is bullshit because it's the author's own words. Saying, yes, I intended it to be a Catholic work.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody judges my own words. What?
So, shall we do the Roman clip real quick, or shall we just stick with the Lord of the Rings? Because we're gonna get back to it.
Already gonna.
Well, I got some humor and stuff to bring up after this, so we could go over the stuff after we get through this article really quick.
Yeah,
I want to see Pilgrim and everyone fucking react to 8 reasons it is tough to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy today. Thank you.
Didn't we?
Thank you, Critical Brain Rot.
No, I don't think
didn't we.
No, we went over the Lord of the Rings is hard to watch.
This is brand new. This is March 13th.
I was going to say, we went over Lord of the Rings.
There's been like 3 articles similar to that within the past year. There's that one you guys went over, and the 13 ways the Lord of the Rings has aged poorly.
How about I come up with
I think I remember that one.
Why you're not making money on your fucking website.
Yeah, I think they're doing this to soften people's expectations for the new ones.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
Anyway.
Well,
so
go ahead.
Here we go. There are a few fantasy adaptations that have reached the high watermark set by Peter Jackson's beloved The Lord of the Rings trilogy. While J.R.R. Tolkien's set the standard for the genre over 70 years ago, it was Jackson's adaptation of the franchise that blew the door open, bringing audiences into the sprawling Middle-earth canon and the plight of one Frodo Baggins. Even now, 25 years after the first film's release, Lord of the Rings remains, with multiple spin-offs, a hit TV Oh,
yeah, that's a lie.
A hit TV show.
Fucking hit TV. It's a hit with YouTubers because it's making us a lot of money.
And even an
That's a
upcoming
lie.
sequel in the form of The Hunt from Gollum. Or Hunt for Gollum.
No.
With all that in mind, Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies were produced in the early 2000s. This means that comparatively, the films have started to show their age in some key ways. Not to say they are no longer worthy of their classic status, but more than 2 decades after first gracing the silver screen, there are a few key things that make the beloved blockbusters a bit tougher to watch upon revisiting.
Fuck off.
Why is there that scary lady in our stream now?
The Lord of the Rings movies miss key parts of the books, and I like how they have image via Prime Videos. But this is from Rings of Power.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that awful version of
You
Tom
can tell it looks
Bombadil.
like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. It looks like generic fantasy slop is what it looks like.
It's so funny how that guy is the opposite of Tom Bombadil from the books.
You're lying, Sean. I know you are. I know you didn't watch it.
The Lord of the Rings was supposed to whittle 1,000 densely written pages down into 3 movies, a Herculean undertaking that became a monumental achievement. In this regard, Peter Jackson.
I'm sorry, that's just stupid.
Cue Wicked Witch of the West, Wild Cackle.
In this regard, Peter Jackson did a spectacular job of condensing the story without straying too far from the main plot line. On the other hand, many fans were frustrated by the excisions of far too many book sequences. Information about family trees and cultural traditions isn't as necessary as the characters themselves. Saruman's death was changed to reflect his life, murdered atop the Tower of Orthanc by his pathetic servant, Wormtongue. The novel dedicated an entire chapter to the scouring of the Shire, and the absence of that scene was felt in The Return of the King. Moreover, it wasn't necessary to remove Tom Bombadil, as his character represents a higher power that always held sway in Tolkien's world. Now that the Rings of Power has been filling in the blanks left by the Lord of the Rings, the gaps feel even more absolute.
That's for later.
I know what he means.
Snaps.
Yeah, like when Snaps wasn't
Yeah.
black. So do we.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy became more and more reliant on CGI.
That was that first point was the only reason why they even brought Tom into the show, was because he was omitted from the films. They wanted to try and get one up above the front of them. There's no other reason for him to be there within the lore or even within the adaptation itself, in which it's a horrible, like he's Bombadil in name only.
Yeah,
and the only reason he's there is because he wasn't in the films until 2029 or whenever we get him with Colbert's movie.
I want to comment on this point on the headline though. Correct me if I'm wrong, to everyone on this esteemed panel. Wasn't the Lord of the Rings mostly practical? If you want to make this argument, you can make it for the Hobbit.
Some of the big battles. Go ahead. Sorry.
The only big battle
No.
the only time they used CG was they still had hundreds of people. They just copy and pasted those hundreds of people.
There's more to it than that, but yeah, sorry, man. Go ahead, Roman. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, if you wanted to talk about the Lord of the Rings turning into CGI, you could argue that for the Hobbit, but not for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Hobbit used a lot of CGI, not the Lord of the Rings.
They very might be including the Hobbit in this as well.
Yeah. And so, yeah, to what I was going to say, like, and I agree with you in large part on that. I would say that the original trilogy, though, they bragged openly about the technology that they developed in order to do some of the CGI in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, particularly around the battles. And it's not just about like copying and pasting guys, because they I remember even in the video games when they had like interviews and stuff talking about the original like trilogy movies getting made, they talked about how they were able to also have a certain preset, like, you know, the way the models would move and stuff like that in battle. And so you would have that like scattered throughout and stuff too. So they were using all kinds of different CGI and stuff. It was really well done though, and that's why it holds up, actually, believe it or not. I disagree with this.
I was about to say, as far as the CGI in Lord of the Rings, I give it more credit than the CGI we get nowadays because they use so much of it that it becomes pretty obvious. Especially when you start comparing it to stuff like fucking Marvel, where you just have the floating head from Love and Thunder.
No, stop.
Or MODOK.
I can't believe they nominated that for best visuals.
Yeah.
Welcome to Disneyland.
Anyway, I'm going to read through this segment through number 7, and then we can comment on it. So number 7 is, the Lord of the Rings trilogy became more and more reliant on CGI. So the Lord of the Rings earned unprecedented acclaim for its visual standards, a blend of practical effects, miniatures, and pioneering CGI. The Fellowship of the Ring took the Spartan approach, using CGI sparingly when necessary. Meanwhile, the Two Towers elevated its visuals to a whole new level of impressive with the Battle of Helm's Deep and Gollum's motion capture. Though the latter's brilliance is thanks mostly to Andy Serkis. The Return of the King relies heavily on CGI, from the Battle of the Pelennor Fields to the Army of the Dead to the gorgeous capital city of Gondor. Contemporary viewers were understandably amazed by these effects, which now come across as overblown and dated. The scene with Gollum fading into the pits of Mount Doom while clutching the One Ring look rather clumsy, effectively taking away from Serkis' Oscar-deserving performance. It just doesn't hold up well in the 2020s.
No. It looks really good the way that he falls in the lava for the time that it came out. What are you talking about?
You can the big thing about this is, you can tell when CGI is being used and everything, but it all fits the visual trend of the movie in general. Like you can tell that they are doing their best to keep the same fidelity across everything. And that's why it's never bothered me, and why I've never had a problem with the CGI here, is that fidelity across the whole thing matters more to me than the actual quality of the CGI.
Right. If it's when it's jarring, like you get that in some animes where the CGI is like particularly poor compared to the rest of the animation and takes you out of the experience.
2016, Kamikatsu.
Right. So this is the opposite. Everything is very well blended together, so it all seems in place. Yeah.
I'd actually argue Fellowship has some of the worst moments with both the Watcher in the water and Elrond's floating head when it fades to white when Frodo arrives to Rivendell. Those two moments stand out to me as probably the worst in the entire trilogy.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not anything compared to the slop we get today. But it is interesting that they think it gets worse as it goes on.
Like, that still looks better than Lord of the Ring Gollum.
Don't even bring that up to me, bro.
Yeah,
that's actually...
Roman, you have to keep playing it.
I'm probably fuck off on this next point. They can suck my cock.
Oh, fuck off.
Go on his channel.
Female characters are severely underserved.
I hate you. You suck. You are a boring person at parties.
J.R.R. Tolkien filled his world with both male and female characters, although men are often given the lion's share of the spotlight. This shouldn't have stopped him from granting his female characters more agency instead of deifying them like Galadriel, Luthien, and Arwen. And Jackson's adaptations didn't improve upon that problem as much as it should have. Arwen has a slightly bigger role as Frodo's savior, but the rest of her arc teemed with romantic undertones. Galadriel is a symbol of noble femininity, an unnecessary pedestal for women who have shaped the world with their ferocious nature. Éowyn's victory over the Witch King of Angmar is directly connected to her gender, sneakily implying that any woman could have killed the overpowered villain.
No.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's a misinterpretation.
Yeah, that's not how that works, but okay.
The women of the Lord of the Rings have been relegated to secondary roles as supporters, wives, and lovers. Even Éowyn falls into this.
What?
Even Éowyn falls into this trap with the unrequited love subplot, shipping her with Aragorn.
What the hell is even that?
That's a very
guys.
This person
Lord of the
is
Rings
not-
isn't feminist enough.
So this person has not paid attention to the books because Baron and Luthien. That's point blank. Children of Hero.
He brings up Luthien, but then
actually.
So are you not going to mention when she fought Sauron?
She fights Sauron.
Stole a Semirol from Morgoth.
She's the hero of that story. Like, what the fuck?
Panini.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
This point has been trotted out so many times when it comes to Lord of the Rings that it's really, really hard to take it seriously anymore. Like they don't have agency. Define what agency means. What do you mean by that?
There's not a full story about a female.
Yeah, that also revolves around her having a period or something. So yeah.
What was their arguments against Éowyn being that?
That she's basically just a romantic support character because she falls in love with Aragorn.
That's autistic.
Right. That's all Éowyn is. Okay.
That makes me want to. Wait, who wrote this?
So you can't have women in love
AJ
stories.
Arvind.
You spell your name
Wait.
that way. Wait,
No, look at that fucking profile pic. What the hell's up with all them colors?
Wait.
The writer
AJ,
hasn't been published in very pop
AJ
culture
spells
magazine.
his name as it sounds. Fuck you.
That's not his fault. That's his parents' fault.
He worked for Polygon. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he can suck it.
All right, what?
Hey yo.
What do you think the next one's going to be, guys? What's
wait,
number 5
wait,
gonna be?
wait. Pause.
Racist. Yep. Go ahead.
Pause. I wanted to ask y'all
But
really
hold the
fast,
applause.
a fun little, aside here. We don't have to take the quiz, but just based off of y'all's thoughts, which Lord of the Rings character are you?
Fuck off.
Don't care.
All right, so Muffler's Gimli. Crimson's Boromir.
Don't tell the elf.
I think I'm Sam.
Probably. I don't think I'm
Going
Frodo.
what?
My cousin Mike is definitely Legolas. Or Corey. Nah, Corey's like Aomer. Or Faramir.
Emmy. You're probably right. I got to stay away from him or carry my axe. It's all good.
I'm not. I don't want to say I'm Aragorn, but I'm somebody.
Very profound.
Pilgrim's Gandalf for sure. I mean, that's easy.
Facts.
I don't know. I
Sorry,
would almost want Pilgrim to be the one to tell us who we are.
I don't give a shit who I am. These quizzes are always fucking stupid anyway.
You can identify as you choose.
It's only valid if you're taking the quiz on which Hogwarts house you end up in, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
I'm a Raven.
Slytherin.
I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yo,
Why do I have to share with you,
fuck
bro?
you, dude.
Fuck you. Jesus.
Fuck you, bro. We were
He
making
is,
that
bro.
joke
He
We
is,
were
bro.
Yeah, we were making that joke at work the other day. Fuck off, dude. You son of a bitch.
Anyways, I assume the next question is going to be something about the lack of diversity.
Okay, yeah. Well, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings didn't avoid cultural stereotypes.
Right.
Of course.
Racism. Yep.
Based.
Didn't.
So, saying that Tolkien belonged to a different era is a blame-deflecting argument used in defense of the author's borderline colonial gaze. Oh, god damn it. While all the elves are compassionate. Well, all the elves are compassionate at heart. They very clearly represent white characters. The Rings of Power tried to subvert this with Arondir, a tactic that failed because it came far too late in the franchise. In fact, even the dwarves, hobbits, and men are entirely white in Lord of the Rings. There is not a single POC.
Wait. Arondir is Don Lemonlass.
Yeah.
So when that happened, all of these stupid websites were like, well, Tolkien never said there wasn't a black elf, but now they've turned it so, well, there wasn't, so we're trying to fix that.
Yeah. What the fuck?
They've once again twisted their narrative.
Fuck you. We know they're doing it on purpose. It's the exact same thing they're doing with Black Snake. Same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which nobody cares about. That actor is a good actor. He would be a great Kingsley Shacklebolt. Why are you fucking relegating him to get all this shit? Because he's going to get brunt of the bullshit.
It gets better because, for comparison, Tolkien painted the Haradrim and the Easterlings, two races of men who lent their support to Sauron, as incompetent villains. Both these people were of darker skin and hair, and Tolkien juxtaposed these supposedly tainted Eastern and Southern characters against the purity of the West. Again, this has to do with the fact that he's writing a mythos for, England, which is a predominantly white nation.
Just because not anymore, but just because you say the purity.
I was going to say, England's currently under attack by the Easterlings, so.
Oh my god!
That sounds like colonialism from you, Crimson.
He's attacked by the Easterlings. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, the United Caliphate joke is apt, so.
Holy shit.
But yeah, I mean, you're basically you're not giving the guy any fucking grace for being from, I don't know, a century ago. You're applying today's standards, which honestly are arbitrary and fucking suck, to a guy from 100 years ago, acting like he's supposed to have the same fucking morality as us. And just keep in mind that Tolkien is a guy who specifically loathed the big H man's eugenicist policies.
His biggest flaw.
I mean, I think most of us do, except for Kanye West. But that's that's a whole other thing.
Anyway, this is just like, oh wow, there's too many white people. Fuck off.
I mean, if this came out today, if Tolkien was still alive today and wrote it, where would the issue be? There really isn't an issue. You can, even if you want to use the arguments. He's a man from 100 years ago. Where's the?
Here's the thing. The issue is still the same issues they're trying to bring up. The point is, you can't be racist towards white people.
More or less.
It's that simple. The same issues would apply. They would still be about the same things. They would just probably be worse. They would actually probably be calling this, because they know they can't do it now because it's so culturally relevant. But they would probably be calling this a work of the far right and all this other crazy shit.
They already do.
Oh, I know that. No, I mean they would be calling it.
Reading Lord of the Rings in 1984. Laid are early signs of extreme right behaviors, or something like that.
That's autistic.
That's an article.
Mm-hmm. That live, I've seen that article.
I think we might have gone over that article, but
at some point, probably. But yeah, it's insofar as this point goes, this is literally just fucking nitpicking because it doesn't have a all of the surface level representation that the author likes to see. And that's one of the big things is where, like, if you need a mirror to see yourself in a character and you can't identify with anything of deeper quality, first of all, you have no internal sense of identity. You only have the identity of the group that you belong to. Second of all, you're a narcissist based on solely genetic qualities.
Well, you have narcissistic qualities. Like, there is only, I believe, 0.2% of people actually in the United States that are diagnosed with full-on narcissism. Now, you might have narcissistic qualities. However, my point being here is I can... Okay, I'm sorry. I sympathize with Mace Windu. I also sympathize with Miles Morales, and I sympathize with Black Panther. Like,
I could point to a
I've got a black friend.
people that I would sympathize with.
Them. I sympathize with anime characters all the time.
I was about to say, one of my literally him character, or sorry, he's literally me for real character is some Japanese teenager. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Subaru Natsuki. Yeah. Fair
Ichigo
enough.
Kurosaki. Like,
you are not Ichigo, but I appreciate you simping for him that hard.
Fuck off, dude. I would do what Ichigo does.
I know. Hey, he's a good guy. You're a good guy too. I didn't mean it that way. I just
don't hate on
Ichigo is not Ichigo Kurosaki. He has to become Ichigo Kurosaki. That's what I.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
He's not what he is supposed to be yet. You haven't watched it, so you don't know.
Shut the fuck up and stop talking like it's some deep philosophical shit, okay?
It is.
It is not.
You guys have gone.
All right, number four. It's harder than ever to watch the extended cuts.
TikTok brain.
It's literally easier than ever to watch the extended cuts. I had this before we get into it. I had this argument with somebody the other day. So we just hired a new guy at work. I'm just gonna call him T. Sean knows who I'm talking about. And T asked me, he was like, so what's your sleeve here like mean? So I told him all about it and how it's like pirate history and all that other stuff. And I told him about X-Wing's book and all that shit. And then he was like, well, what's the other one? And I was like, well, it's going to be full Lord of the Rings. And he goes, oh, I know a lot about it, but I've never watched it. I was like, well, you have to start with the extended editions because if you watch the regulars, like, you're just missing out on stuff. And I was like, and people will tell you it's way too long. But here's the thing. Those same people will watch the entire season of Stranger Things in one day. I was like, you have a pause button. So watch the extended editions and have the pause button. Use it. But like, there's nothing stopping you from pausing it after a scene and then coming right back to it. You're not going to forget it. I trust me. You're like, it's fantastic. So that's my point here is that there is no argument to be made because every single person who's done this, who makes this argument, has binged a show before. So I don't even want to fucking hear it.
Also, if you watch it on streaming, there's this thing called continue watching. So if you want to pick it up,
it literally has
another day. If you want to pick it up like another day, then you have no reason not to because you can just watch it a week later.
Dude, and the way the movies are set up, you can literally watch it in 30-minute segments if you wanted to.
Exactly.
And it would still be like the same amount of time that you're watching an anime.
I would call you fucking retarded if you did that, but yes, you could do that.
Yeah, I might call you retarded if you did that, but you're still consuming the content. Like there's literally no excuse not to watch it in the extended edition. Not a single one.
I will say, Wednesday, I did watch Lord of the Rings with my two youngest siblings who have not seen it before. And I did not put on the extended edition for them because they are 10-ish and they're between the ages 12 and 8. Don't ask them for their actual age, but between there. And as I assumed, one of them ended up leaving because it's too long and too boring. Um, but in that particular case, with smaller children, I did put on theatrical edition.
That's fine. I'm talking about a full-grown adult.
Well, the point is, there are full-grown adults like Jack. What's fucking name is Jack, dude,
Jack the
who have the mentality of children.
True.
So it might just be too complex, long, and hard for them to understand.
That is true.
But saying it's it's harder now than ever to watch. Yeah,
What the fuck
like,
are you talking about?
it's harder to watch it now than when it came out, when we didn't have streaming 20 years ago. Is that they're saying?
Wait. Yeah. No, so I understand this, but it is presented to you in a way, just like the anime. Because okay, so you're a massive One Piece fan. People will make the same argument for One Piece. I know you're a huge One Piece fan. This is like Oda has mentioned. Oda has Lord of the Rings tie-ins in.
I'm sorry. You've watched like all 1,000 episodes of that shit, but you can't watch Lord of the Rings for 5 hours.
Yes. I mess with them about it all the time.
That's crazy.
All right, Crimson.
As mentioned earlier, Peter Jackson streamlined his trilogy for cinema, removing any scenes he believed was inconsequential to the overarching story. However, the director included many of these scenes in the extended editions, which run for a combined 2 hours longer than the theatrical cuts. One would assume that the availability of streaming platforms would bring the extended cuts to the populace, though that isn't always the case. While there have been platforms highlighting the director's cut, the theatrical versions have always been the most common on streaming. More annoyingly, it's impossible to predict when a service will have the extended editions available. Fans can obtain them in Ultra HD Blu-ray, but that's an extra expense that doesn't seem worth it. Viewers need to engage with the trilogy in its most complete form, and there shouldn't be so many hurdles in a process that's otherwise sleek and efficient. This is basically like the tourist entitlement of everything should be free and easy to access, and any barriers at all are bigotry, and I can't stand it.
You can rent or buy off Amazon or Apple or whatever for like $5.
Or you can literally just get the 1 month free trial for HBO Max and watch it on there and then call it a day.
And I would also argue that, like, again, the physical edition, like, that's an extra expense that doesn't seem worth it. It's like, well, it depends on who you are. Like, the worth of the thing determines, like,
well,
the value is there. Okay, like, fuck
this
me,
is
right?
the I don't feel like it argument. This is the well, but that would take me creating an account for like 10 minutes, and I don't feel like doing that. Like,
did I find a picture of the guy who wrote this? I guarantee he's a fat fuck.
He's probably a fat fuck, and he probably has like colored hair, maybe some piercings. He's definitely got something in his. Wait. We can look him up afterwards and see what his bio is on Twitter. There's definitely pronouns in it.
Probably. Alrighty. Number 3.
Yeah, so I want to say, yo, what's up? How you doing? I want to say that it's OXOM1. I don't know. OXOM1.
No, XOX. It's like hugs and kisses or something, right? Or...
XOXOM1. Yeah, dude, I got them. I have all the movies right here, the extended editions. That is never leaving my sight. Well, it leaves my sight, but it's never leaving my room. That thing's coming out with me if I have a fire. I'm running back in for that shit.
Hey, Roland, I got a question for you.
What?
And I won't be mad at your answer, but I'm just curious.
Put your camera on to answer to ask it, and I will answer it.
In a fire, You have a choice. Are you saving me or your Lord of the Rings collection?
Well, obviously, I'm saving you. But you're grabbing the Lord of the Rings collection on the way out.
We're not fucking Denji, right?
Yeah, no, you're saving the Lord of the Rings collection on the way out, though. Because you would already know to grab it. Or the Hayden Christensen signed Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. You would already know.
I'm grabbing that one.
Yeah, you would be like, I got it. Get in here and get me. I got you. Like, yeah, dude. I know you would already have that shit in your pocket, so I'm not worried about it. No, but seriously.
The real question is, why are you in his bedroom?
I would be
Yeah,
in
why
his
are
office.
you in my house and I'm not? Is the question. Roman's just in my house. I'm not there. He's just hanging out with my snake and lizard.
He's under your bed.
Actually, I'd be hanging out with your dad. More than likely. I would just be chilling with her.
Well, then he would grab the expensive shit.
Right,
I just need you to grab the. I just need you
Point
to grab the
3 is kind of like a telling on yourself moment, and I'll get into that a little bit. But basically, cultural saturation has left fans numb. So,
Oh,
The Lord of the Rings has faced one of the most common problems known to global franchises: oversaturation. The movie trilogy earned billions from ticket sales and home video purchases, and still continues to be a frequent talking point. The releases of spin-offs such as War of the Rohirrim, fuck that series, and the upcoming Hunt for Gollum, I do not care, consistently keep the franchises in the public eye. That said, The Rings of Power is probably the biggest contributor to the oversaturation. Actually, this is a true point, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, why I mean that. In addition, Jackson's trilogy has been endlessly satirized, referenced, and dissected by the media and the fandom. People who haven't watched a single second of the film probably know the whole story from the array of memes and references that abound on the internet. There are no more plot twists capable of genuine surprise. Gandalf's resurrection, Boromir's betrayal, and Frodo's final claim on the One Ring have been an inexorable part of pop culture for decades. So, why I say that this in particular is a self-telling moment is because oversaturation is only a problem if it's oversaturation of bad content. If it's good, people continue to enjoy it, regardless of how much you put out. The big problem, though, is that this has been watered down by a plethora of bad entries. War of the Rohirrim is a good example. Nobody really cares about the Hunt for Gollum, but the Rings of Power is definitely the biggest culprit in all of this, in creating bad Lord of the Rings. And a lot of people have started to see it's not so much that there is so much Lord of the Rings content out there. It's that with more and more of it coming out, people are starting to see that the people making, or the audience is starting to see that the people making these shows has no talent for it. And they are becoming, they have less and less faith with each entry. It is not burnout specifically from Lord of the Rings, because I can still go back and watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy like all the time. I have no problem with that. The issue is that you pumped out a bunch of terrible entries in the franchise and people got sick of them and no longer have faith that you can produce good ones. That is the true culprit behind oversaturation. It's the loss of faith in creators to make good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's also the fact that we really weren't having anything new with Lord of the Rings until 2020s, when it's been every other year or so we have something. We had the trilogy, and then about 10 years later we got the Hobbit trilogy. Then there's another 10 before we got Rings of Power Season 2, War of the Rohirrim, Hunt for Gollum, Conspiracy Unmasked, whatever they're calling the new movie, plus at least one more season of Rings of Power. So that's 6 projects within the past 5 years, as opposed to 10 years in between each project. So has it been an issue of oversaturation until more recently? And like you're saying, it's primarily because it's all bad content. But there has been an uptick from what we're used to.
If you flood the zone and it's not good, but yeah, that and 6-7, right? 6-7 years. So yeah, just totally with
No,
you on
I
that.
think you will probably agree.
I didn't mean to do that.
There's nothing inherently wrong with isekai anime. It's just the fucking number of bad ones out there make it seem like the genre sucks.
I was getting into an argument with somebody just today about that. So yep.
Anyway, so yeah, this is basically ratting on the creators, letting them know they kind of fucking suck. So what's number 2?
I'm gonna.
Has it?
I'm not used to this level of scrutiny.
Has it really changed the game?
Oh my goodness, fucking Christ!
Although rewatching The Lord of the Rings
God
in
bless
2025 might feel as exciting as ever,
Mike.
New viewers are faced with a unique problem. Fantasy has evolved significantly since Peter Jackson, with the best stories often being most subversive. The Game of Thrones stole Lord of the Rings' crown almost immediately by depicting a complex world.
No, it fucking didn't. Oh my
Go
God!
fuck yourself.
This is something I was actually tweeting about earlier today, and I can bring that up in a little bit to sort of go over some of the points I made there. But House of the Dragon followed the same trend, effectively reflecting the real world through fantasy narratives. Meanwhile, there's far too much moral clarity in The Lord of the Rings for the story to feel authentic and relatable. With very few exceptions. The heroes are always good and the villains are always evil. And yet has no place for black and white. In fact,
Boromir and fucking Thorin, Oakenshield, the Thranduil.
Give me a second to finish these couple of lines because you guys are fucking going ape shit, and then you can have that.
Isildur.
In fact, newer fantasy stories have also been blending genres to rise above the cliched archetypes. A notable example is the Green Knight's surreal approach. The Lord of the Rings simply isn't cool or unique enough anymore. We'll just ignore the demonstrably effective storytelling of Frieren Beyond Journey's End to make this point.
Did they just say the Green Knight made better points than Lord of the Rings?
No. They're like, oh, it has a cool style, and so it's like nice. That's all they were trying to say.
Yeah. Basically, let me pull this up because
yeah, that someone is me. XOXO.
Really quick, I am going to tab over to this. We'll get back to the article for the last one. So this is how I found out about this article. So, I mean, can we stop pretending that one, Lord of the Rings doesn't have complex and compelling characters, and two, that every story has to be complex or morally gray? Certain stories and certain subjects deserve that. There are certain things out there that you do have to kind of cover in those intricate ways. I think because Game of Thrones focuses more so on inner court politics and all of that kind of stuff, where you have a lot of people vying for power, it works better to have that kind of storytelling, to be more morally gray and subversive like that. But that's not that's not all that there is to storytelling. And to pretend that it is fucking forgetting where storytelling came from in the beginning. But morally complex is not an inherent indicator of quality. Tolkien's works are spectacular because he understood the kind of treatment the subject matter needed. Some issues just are black and white. To pretend like everything has to be morally gray is to ignore the fact that storytelling arose from the human need to impart morals on people. Oftentimes, stories that were told were specifically told because people wanted to convey points to their children. And it's easy to make a child understand something if you give them a fantastical story that captures their interest.
Well, let me go back and say
issues objectively are just black and white.
Right.
Some
like
not.
the I Am No Man
story is really the important part of any writing project. The Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are two completely different series with two completely different foundations to what to the stories they want to tell. Trying to say that the Lord of the Rings is objectively worse than Game of Thrones is hilarious. One, because Game of Thrones doesn't have near the cultural prevalence that Lord of the Rings does. But it also completely just, it tries to say that being realistic is morally gray or complex.
Who actually finished the story?
Issues are simple.
Pilgrim, who actually finished the story? Great point.
I can't speak much on Game of Thrones because I haven't seen it, primarily due to retards like this. Like, I think I'd like it, but because of these stupid blanket statements, it's just completely deterred. Well, that and season 8 being a shit show and anything else stuff around that. It's just no real hurry. Anyways, from what I've heard from Gary Neurotic, he thinks the main issue why it hasn't been finished is because George Martin has continued to be so bleak, but he doesn't want to end that story on that note. He wants to have some sort of bittersweet ending, but he trying to make, I think, Jon Snow, that's his name, right? Like, trying to find a way to make him more of a heroic character in the end after his death, I think.
Yeah, because he's still alive.
And it's just it doesn't fit within what he's written so far and what his fans would be expecting. That's what Gary hit, or something along those lines. Is, according to Gary, a big reason why he hasn't finished it.
I mean, that would make sense. I just think he's a lazy fuck. I'm more on Ryan's side. And I think he's trying to figure out how to do something different because he gave the idea to the fuckers that ended Game of Thrones with season 8. So
I don't know that I call him lazy. Like, that probably be part of it, but he is doing other shit. It's just he should be finishing his main shit before he gets into all these sub stories. Also, wasn't
when it comes to Game of Thrones, is what I mean.
What's the latest Game of Thrones show?
Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is fantastic.
Yeah, everyone seemed to love that show. Did it not have a much more positive, uplifting tone than Game of Thrones?
I mean, I guess. But it definitely had some, like, fuck shit in it, but yeah.
Again, I haven't watched it. I don't know much about it. But from what I've heard, it feels different than the majority of J. Martin's work.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for somebody who hasn't watched the show to get into it, if that's what you're saying. Who hasn't watched Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, where it's very fucked up and there's a lot of political intrigue and all this other shit. Yeah, it's very simple, it's down to earth, and it's there's a lot of sweet moments in it. So yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Right. So given if that show, it seems to be very well received, and seems to me at least be better received than House of Dragon was.
Oh, most certainly.
But
even though House of the Dragon was received really well, I think this was received better because it's just fucking. There's not a bad episode. It's just good. It's just good. It's like the way that it was received the exact same way Andor was. It was like, thank Christ, something good in this universe. Where every episode's good. There's not a single. So here's the thing. House of the Dragon, everybody loved it. However, we still had gripes with it. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I didn't hear anybody have any gripes with it. Not even on the slightest.
I heard there's a massive schlong in it.
And that's pretty much how Andor was, except for the time that people went, well, these episodes were slow. But, like, that's fine. Slow episodes is okay with me. Except for those random 3 that were about the people in the jungle. That was stupid as fuck. But the rest of the show, fantastic, in my opinion.
Yep. All right, Crimson.
Which is why
keep on
I would
reading, but-
compare that to Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Rolando, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, catching up to House of the Dragon viewership average. It could pass it. Yeah, it was the most watched show last year or this year.
I think real quick on just one final note on this, I was just going to say that like having an overarching opinion either way about how morally complex something is doesn't mean a fucking thing. Like I think you were right on this one, Crimson. Where it's just like, it's just, are you telling me a good story or not? Is the story good? You know, and if it's good, then people will pay attention to it, and it's not a problem.
Well,
and
I mean,
those
yeah,
movies still hold up because they're good. You know.
Well, think about some of the movies that are not morally complex, or maybe are morally complex about the wrong morals. Like, No Country for Old Men is still considered like a great movie.
Oh, dude, yeah, fantastic.
It's a fucking awesome movie, and yet all of its morals are all over the place. The Professional, fucking phenomenal movie, but those morals are up and down.
Since they're using TV, you can use other examples of that too. Like, I mean, you could say Breaking Bad and other stuff, but like,
Well, I would say Breaking Bad and Fargo are number 1 when it comes to morals.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica as well.
Yep.
Morality in Battlestar Galactica is a huge thing, even though it's a sci-fi show. Like, yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones. So, shit, man. There's tons of, and every anime that we go over on Fictionology.
Well, we've been going through our dark arc, but like some of them are much more straightforward with the morals on stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
and we'll get to those. But yeah, like Demon Slayer. Like, are you shitting me right now? Demon Slayer is probably one of the most straightforward, moral teachings you can have. And it's just like, it's great. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, but I would even argue the same thing with what's it called? Love is War. Love is War has some crazy morals throughout it.
We'll get to that. I'm gonna start watching more of it. I'll have my opinions later.
Yeah, Roman better be done with it by the time we get there.
Done with what?
Don't forget the OVAs at the end of the series. That you gotta watch all
I'm aware.
You're acting like this is gonna be fucking miserable. It's a good series. It's far better than Oshinoko.
No.
I don't know
far
about
better
that.
than most of the shit. It's far better than a lot of things, dude. It is.
Anyway,
the ending.
Let's finish up this article.
I know that much. We're good.
Yeah, let's get this article done so we can get into Harry Potter. And know about
are you
that.
fucking kidding me?
Remake nerves have swept the Lord of the Rings fandom.
They're gonna do it. I don't want to invest my time.
Arguably one of the most vexing issues in current media, remakes have taken the world by storm. Many studios would rather bank on previously successful projects than fund something completely new, leading to a spate of unwanted reboots. Harry Potter is getting a TV show that will follow the exact same story as the movies, although it promised to be a more faithful adaptation. Then there's the endless spate of Disney live-action remakes that few fans ever asked for. Although adapting Lord of the Rings once again is unlikely, given all the side projects commissioned for the franchise, even the idea of a reboot is off-putting. There's already the fading nostalgia that fans have to contend with, putting even more pressure on how viewers should consume the film trilogy.
Okay,
Some want a reboot to
right there. Hold on. Feigning nostalgia. Lord of the Rings has never not been big. It might have dwindled in times, but Lord of the Rings has never not been big. I assure you that the fans of Lord of the Rings still watch Lord of the Rings all the time and still read the books all the time. I assure you on that. So this is just somebody who's not actually part of the fan base. I can tell you that right now.
I mean, just look at how well they do anytime they put them back in the movie theaters.
Pilgrim, look at the fact that you and I are having conversations about Lord of the Rings all the time. Like, I'll send you Lord of the Rings memes constantly. And you the same. Like, you and I has your Lord of the Rings love dwindled in the slightest? my friend? I don't think so. Neither is mine. Neither has Romans, and neither has Crimson's.
No, but that's more of a personal what's the word I'm looking for? That's your personal, that's your lived experience, okay? But as like it's never going to die for us hardcore fans or for those who passionately love it. But talking more mainstream, the movie's doing very well every time they're released. Shows that there is still a mainstream audience for it.
Exactly. But like, this goes again to what I said earlier. Star Wars, we wanted you to do Old Republic. Instead, you made your own bullshit up with the High Republic where everything was gay. Like, can't you just make what the fans want? Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth has thousands of years. If you want to make your own fucking story in the Second Age, it's extremely easy to do so. Like, I just don't understand this bullshit. Like, you can make your fucking fantasy story that you want to make in Lord of the Rings, your fanfic bullshit. You can do that in the Second Age very fucking easily. There's orcs abound. There's dragons abound. There's all this shit all over the place. I don't fucking get it. They want to fuck shit up. Continue. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember where I was. Some want a reboot to rectify all the problems mentioned in this article. Like who? Well, you didn't mention any fucking problems. You mentioned a bunch of your own fucking pointless gripes. While others want their masterpiece preserved as it is. The tension between nostalgia and interpretation transforms The Lord of the Rings into a battlefield for the legacy of fantasy cinema, making rewatches feel less satisfying. I'm kind of curious. This should be titled Why I, the Author, Won't Watch The Lord of the Rings. So why does every story need to have women in primary roles, even if it doesn't make sense? Fun stuff.
So